This devlog I plan to start on the inside of houses. The focus is going to be on actually getting the underlying system to work rather than making it look good. That's going to be next week. I'm going to look at transplanting the tile grid system from the dungeon to give floors and walls, placing entities, getting collision working, and just generally improving my level editor so I can actually use it to make things. If you're new here, this is a game that tries to distill the feeling of discovering things in a high fantasy world down into something that you can pick up and play quite easily. It's all still very much early in development though, so subscribe to follow the progress. And this video, I'm also going to show you some of the improvements I made to the mobile build last week, including pinch to zoom. So I'm just kind of working a bit on the interiors again. So essentially I'm kind of back to this idea of we need a tiled grid, and I just have a bunch of meshes that repeat and just get laid out according to something or other, which currently is this text file. You really shouldn't do it with text files, there should be an editor. I just haven't really built the support actually into my editor tool yet. What I have got is the ability to actually look at what the thing looks like, which is this. Yeah, getting some of this stuff to work has been a bit annoying. Alright, there we go. Why is it doing that? I think that's shadows actually. So, one of the main parts of the interiors is going to be the actual tile system. This is exactly the same as what's used in the procedural dungeon, to just lay a limited number of mesh pieces out in a way that looks like a room of some sort. I separated that logic out from the procedural dungeon and just gave it its own class, which just knows how to place the different mesh tiles if it's given an input of just a bunch of tile data. Yay! The problem is that it's all based on like this masking system, which I put in place for the dungeon. But it means that I've got to figure everything out using like rapid tables, which is annoying. It's a start, it's obviously not incredible. So now, when I go into my testing house, enter, burp, yeah! Nice! And actually this player start point is defined by the editor, but it's just a point that defines some stuff. What would be nice is if ooh, that actually worked. There's a surprise. Okay, so what happened there was there's a out of bounds thing for the player, so if they just leave the bounds of the map, player just left that radius and then just ended up leaving the place, so it worked out of the box for me. I suppose I could leave by going in that corner of the house as well. The next thing to get in place would be the collision system to avoid any of that sort of thing. For whatever reason, I didn't actually record that bit about adding the collision system. It was just based on the same approach as what I used in the procedural dungeon. Just a nice grid collider system. And it worked quite well because I'd already written it the other week. Look, goblin. I probably shouldn't have done a goblin because that doesn't really make any sense. You can see that that's how it knows where to put it. Let's go check to this guy. Burp. Yay, dialogue inside the house. Why are you in the floor though? And also, why is all your furniture so much bigger than you are? If the goal for this week was just to try and improve the internals of the house, then I think I could do that by mostly just improving my level editor, because it does need improving. Right, how am I going to do this? Okay, firstly, thank you printer. So I think the goal should be generally make this look better. It's a very sort of technical product right now, as in like you can go inside it and it kind of looks like the inside of a house, but it's also just total garbage. Shadows in the editor. Orientation in the editor. The mobile port is currently broken. How did that happen? It seems like something to do with the compositor. And this happened on a commit called Slight Improvements to User Interface. Right, let's fix this first. So it's the procedural dungeon that broke. But I mean, look at how convenient this is. I put in a bug that in my basic level testing didn't cause any problem. And then I push it to the cloud, and the cloud says, no, it didn't work after running some tests that would have taken me 10 minutes to run manually. And I can do that each time I make a commit, so that's fantastic. It was worth the time I put into it. Yeah, see look, there's just a black bar at the top of it. Screenshot mode. I wonder if that's enabled. Oh, it is. Oh, no. Because, okay, look, screenshot mode disables some of the things, but I guess it still contributes to the layout of mobile because I didn't think of that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look how messy this all is. I'm kind of just doing some random stuff at the moment. So one of the problems used to be that you'd copy all the resources over from the project directory, but that would include some things that broke it. So it would try and copy over things like this, which is a library file, and you can't really do that because it hasn't been properly signed, and things like the strip command would fail. Anyway, long and short, that would break things. So now the project's just a bit more automated. Like you can see in build phases, it just is way cleaner when it comes to actually copying things in. It only really copies what's necessary because I can define this stuff in this file now. So, I mean, that's better than it used to be. The only thing that's not automated anymore is that I've still got to put my bundle identifier in and all that sort of thing, which hopefully there should be another way to get that set up. So I've been working a bit to do the logic for things like pinch to zoom on mobile, which is something that I haven't really had before. It does actually work, but there's still issues with it. The main one being that some of the other inputs actually get triggered when you do it still. Zooming in, you can see how the player just kind of moves a bit, which obviously is not really what you want. And the other problem being, this is some of the worst code I think I've ever written in my life. I'm skipping some of this movement logic whenever pinch to zoom is active. There's like a few frames where it doesn't really account for anything. Because I think what happens is one finger goes down first and it triggers a regular movement, and then the other finger appears and like that other movement doesn't get cancelled. Yeah, it's almost like you need like a warm down state before any movement actually begins. I just want to get it to work because as soon as it works, I can make it nice once I know that that's like the movement scheme I want to use. I don't really care that it works too well, I just need it to work. Oh, that actually worked. Boys, that just worked first time. That's pretty good. As much as the code is horrific, it does the job, and I need to move on. So I've actually got this new multi-touch manager, which deals with a lot of this stuff. Okay. Do you know, actually, yeah, that's probably, like the new size isn't being taken into account or anything like that. That's just ridiculous. Why does it have to look like that? Is there anything else? I mean, it just goes in there, doesn't it? It's the same camera. Camera hasn't changed, I don't think. Hey! Okay, so, wait, what's just happened? Why is it not worked anymore? Oh, the things I have to do to make a game. You would have thought it'd be easy, wouldn't you? Oh, it wasn't the same camera. Right, now I should be able to go in here without it crashing. Yes! Fucking stupid billboard manager. No one even likes you. I mean, luckily most of the time it is actually finding legit bugs. Okay, I've actually found the solution to this problem. Quite embarrassing. Turns out the problem was that I'd assigned the collision point to the entity twice. So there's like collision point regular, collision point 2, 3, that sort of thing. I just assigned the component twice. So I've got collision point and collision point 2 in the case of there being a radius. So as soon as I get rid of that, the problem goes away. How long did I spend? Probably like an hour and a half, probably 2 hours actually. And it's just because my assumption was it was in a different part of the code and it just ends up being in that. So there we go, test passed. This is the sort of thing that if I didn't have assertions and tests in place, it would have come back to me in some other weird location, like it would have just caused more problems. It's just annoying, it really is. So that's it for this video, friends. And if you're hungry for more, why not watch this video where I talk about actually adding the towns to the game?